Have you ever had the feeling that someone was smiling at you, but deep down, something rang false, that they seemed kind, polite, even friendly, but after each conversation, you felt a strange unease? The truth is that hatred almost never manifests itself directly. People who openly hate you are often the least dangerous. The most dangerous are those who hide their resentment behind a mask of courtesy. And Friedrich Nietzsche understood this psychological reality long before our time. According to him, the most powerful emotions are not always expressed through words. They reveal themselves in details, behaviors, and attitudes that few people notice. Today, we will discover 3 profound psychological signs that reveal that someone secretly hates you, even if they claim to be your friend. The third sign is particularly troubling because it's often mistaken for kindness. So pay close attention until the end. Sign 1. Your success makes them uncomfortable. Imagine the scene. You announce some good news. You've gotten a promotion. You've launched a project. You've achieved an important goal. People who genuinely care about you generally feel joy for you. Even if they aren't perfect, even if they sometimes feel a little jealous, they're still able to celebrate your victory. But someone who harbors a silent hatred acts differently. Their smile becomes forced. Their congratulations seem mechanical. Their enthusiasm seems artificial. And most importantly, they immediately try to diminish your success. It's not so exceptional. You were lucky. Anyone could have done it. Wait and see if it lasts. Nietzsche observed that some people suffer deeply when they see someone rise to the top. Not because this success directly harms them, but because it reminds them of their own limitations. Your success then becomes a mirror they can't bear to look at. They therefore prefer to devalue your achievements rather than question their own lives. This is what Nietzsche often associated with resentment. Resentment is a subtle but extremely powerful emotion. It's the inability to accept the success of others. Instead of admiring, the person criticizes. Instead of learning, they put down. Instead of progressing, they attack. If someone seems constantly bothered by your progress, your successes, or your happiness, it might not be simple jealousy. It could be a sign of a much deeper hostility. Sign 2. They criticize you under the guise of honesty. This is one of the most deceptive behaviors. Some people never attack you directly. They simply pretend to be honest. They use phrases like, "I'm telling you this for your own good. I'm just being honest with you." Someone has to tell you the truth. At first glance, it seems noble, but observe closely. Their remarks are almost always negative. They highlight your mistakes, your flaws, your failures, your weaknesses, and rarely your strengths. Nietzsche believed that some criticisms don't seek to improve the other person. They seek to diminish it. The difference is crucial. Constructive criticism helps you grow. Malicious criticism seeks to undermine your confidence. And there's a telling detail. People who care about you sometimes criticize your actions. People who dislike you criticize your identity. They don't say, "You made a mistake." They say, "You're incapable. You're not cut out for this. You'll never change." See the difference? The mistake becomes a condemnation. Failure becomes a definition. The person stops judging what you do and starts judging who you are. And that's precisely where contempt lies. Contempt disguised as frankness. Resentment hidden behind the mask of honesty. When someone seems to constantly find flaws in you, even in your successes, ask yourself a question. Is he really trying to help me, or is he trying to keep me beneath him? Sign 3. They secretly rejoice in your failures. This is probably the most revealing sign, and the most worrying. People who genuinely care about you suffer when you suffer. They may not always know what to say. They may be clumsy, but they take no pleasure in your difficulties. A person who dislikes you operates differently. When you're going through a tough time, something changes in their attitude. They suddenly become more relaxed, more present, sometimes even more sympathetic. Why? Because your downfall reassures them. Your pain reduces the distance they felt between you and them. Nietzsche often described this phenomenon as a hidden satisfaction at the weakening of others. It's an emotion many refuse to acknowledge, but it exists. You lose your job. She seems strangely calm. You fail at a project. She downplays your disappointment. You encounter difficulties. She seems almost relieved. Sometimes she doesn't laugh at your misfortune. That would be too obvious. She does something more subtle. She simply stops supporting you. She becomes a spectator, as if she's watching the confirmation of what she's long hoped for. And it's precisely this behavior that often reveals a hidden hatred, because true friends want you to succeed, even when it inspires them to work harder on themselves. False friends, on the other hand, find comfort in your defeats, because your failures feed their ego. Here is Nietzsche's great lesson. Nietzsche invites us to understand an uncomfortable truth. Not everyone has your best interests at heart. Some people appreciate the doubting version of you, the version of you that fails, the version of you that remains small, because this version reassures them. But as soon as you grow, as soon as you gain confidence, as soon as you become freer, you threaten their inner equilibrium. That's when their true attitude begins to emerge, not necessarily through insults, not necessarily through conflicts, but through small, repeated signs. A lack of joy when you succeed, constant criticism disguised as advice, a quiet satisfaction when you fall. And the sooner you learn to recognize these behaviors, the sooner you can protect your energy, your confidence, and your future. So, tell me in the comments, have you ever met someone who seemed to like you but actually harbored resentment towards you? Which sign seems the most revealing to you? The first, the second, or the third? If this video has helped you better understand human psychology of philosophy, human psychology, and the timeless wisdom of great thinkers,